wouldn't be standing here, your world heavyweight champion, after last Sunday. Huh? Be honest. Well, screw you. Because I am still your world heavyweight champion. Shut up. Last Sunday, I overcame the odds and defeated Jeff Hardy, the Cowboy James Storm, and Bully Ray, all at the same time. How sweet it was to look at you when you raised my hand in victory. Sting, I played you for the fool that you are. Month after month and week after week, you try to screw me, you try to one-up me, but you don't get the job done. Sting, since I became the world heavyweight champion, you've pointed your finger of blame at me. Well, after last Sunday's Sting, the only finger of blame you should be pointing is at yourself. Look at yourself in the mirror, Stinger, because you are the man that helped me defeat those three men and retain my world heavyweight title. I am the it factor of professional wrestling. I am your world heavyweight champion. And Sting, you can try all you want, but there's not a damn thing you can do about it.
I'll admit, Bobby, you got under my skin and against all odds. But I was the selfish one, Bobby, because, well, I let my anger and my rage get the best of me, so much so that, well, it affected the outcome of the match. Once again, Jeff Hardy gets screwed. But I'm here tonight to get right with Jeff Hardy. And I'm so glad that you're a fighting champion. I'm so glad that you can tackle anything that comes your way, because tonight, Jeff Hardy is coming your way. What am I talking about? I'm talking about a world title match with Jeff Hardy right here tonight. Wait. No time limit. And no DQ. You can't do this.
And now, more Pro Wrestling Weekly with your host, Ferran Derry.
Sit down, shut up, and listen up.
Oh, the dulcet tones of Bully Ray welcome you back to Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com. I'd like to think that Bully Ray is a lot harsher than I am when it comes to taking your opinions, and you can certainly bring them either via phone or via Facebook, which seems to be blowing up. Every time I look down, somebody else is throwing a comment in there, and you can certainly do so at WBCB Pro Wrestling Weekly. You can like us and add to the commentary. It seems like it's been swimming today. We'll get back to that in just a second. You can also chime in on the lines at 215-949-3232 or toll free at 888-922-2149. And we'll go ahead and get to those to take a look at the local scene, courtesy of the one, the only, the infamous Ed from the Northeast. Ed, welcome to the show.
Good afternoon. Before I get to my list, I see on the website about Hell in a Cell coming to Philly.
That's the first I think you might have a breaking story that I don't know about here. That's
Unless they made a mistake, I'm not sure.
I know that obviously, I mean, maybe they're waiting to announce that after the March 19th Raw.
Yeah.
But as far as I know, there's no date or there's no location necessarily set for the October pay-per-view.
I could be wrong.
Maybe it's wishful thinking. I don't know. Maybe that'll be the make good for not. What was it that we missed out? We missed out on TLC this past December. That ended up going to Baltimore. It was initially scheduled to be here, but I think there was a conflict of interest with the Eagles possibly playing a game at Lincoln Financial Field, and then that ended up not happening. That ended up not being a night game because they got flexed out because they were rendered irrelevant by that point in December. But Enough about that. We'll keep our fingers crossed and take a look and see. Maybe we'll have more about that coming up in the next couple of weeks.
We got NWA Force 1 in Jersey tonight with 7:30 p.m. bell time. It's 7 o'clock bell time.
Oh, 7 o'clock. There you go. Make sure you get there early. Better to do that than to have it be a 7 o'clock bell time and you show up at 7:30. That doesn't exactly work so well.
I did that a couple times.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, missed the first and second match. Anyway, we got the 10th anniversary of ROH in New York with... All right. I didn't put down the list, but they're having a Baltimore show with Briscoe Brothers and Maria.
Huh. Interesting stuff there. Between New York and Baltimore, I was going to say, you got some frequent driver miles there, Ed, to get all these places?
And Hot Benjamin is on the show, too.
Shelton Benjamin, yeah, he and John Morrison have kind of renewed a bit of a feud. I know they've been wrestling on a couple of different things going on there.
And we got Shakira coming back to Philadelphia on April 21st. I should have more information next week.
Excellent. We'll look forward to that. Thank you so much, Ed, for the call. Greatly appreciated, as always. A nice look at the local scene, courtesy of Ed from the Northeast. We always certainly appreciate, because I don't know, I'll admit it's hard for me to cover absolutely everything, and Ed kind of picks up what I may not necessarily have. It's a nice little thing that works out there. Oh wow, let's take a look at Elimination Chamber. Of course, the pay-per-view going on tomorrow. So far, only 4 matches advertised for the pay-per-view. First of all, you've got the one non-title match on the show. Almost could have made this a Night of Champions type thing. No, John Cena against Kane in an ambulance match. I have a feeling that Cena's going to win here. That's going to end that feud, and then Cena will be able to put his focus on The Rock. And we'll see more of the back-and-forth childish banter of Cena calling The Rock a primetime player and The Rock finding different forms of questioning Cena's masculinity. Good times, I know. And you've got Beth Phoenix. She'll be defending the Divas title against Tamina Snuka. I think that Beth's going to retain there and set up for a WrestleMania showdown with a hopefully ready-to-go Karma. Of course, back from... We're working on getting her way back from maternity leave. And then you've got the 2 Elimination Chamber matches. The SmackDown one, Daniel Bryan defending against Cody Rhodes, Wade Barrett, Santino Marella, Big Show, and Great Khali. I think Bryan's going to retain here, and it looks like we're setting up for a Sheamus against Daniel Bryan matchup for WrestleMania. And knowing how WWE is and what preferential treatment they show to SmackDown, it'll probably open the card at WrestleMania on April 1st. And that'll be an April Fool's joke to pretty much just Vince McMahon. And then finally, you've got the WWE title match, CM Punk defending against Chris Jericho, R-Truth, The Miz, Dolph Ziggler, and Kofi Kingston. It's just kind of one of those examples where, it seems like it's a 2-man show and the other 4 are just kind of there for filler. It's going to come down to Punk and Jericho, and I think Jericho is going to take the title here and set up a one-on-one rematch for WrestleMania. A battle for the best in the world. So there we go. Cena, Daniel Bryan, Beth Phoenix, Chris Jericho. Those are the picks. Be careful with them because, I'm not exactly the greatest at it. So far, 10-9 for the year. Hey, it's a winning record at least, right? Something like that. But yes, Randy Orton, in case you missed it, not in the Elimination Chamber match after suffering a concussion after getting hit in the head with the World Heavyweight Championship by Daniel Bryan on Raw. And a lot of people think that because of that it's a work. I don't know. I've been back and forth on it. Initially, I thought, well, why would they put Santino Marella in there if it was a serious thing? Perhaps, as they have done in the past, that Marella will be attacked on the way to the ring and end up being replaced by somebody else. And Some thoughts out there have been sprinkled around that it might be a returning Alberto Del Rio, but I don't know. I'm not necessarily going to bank on that by any means. Another major announcement from the WWE this week. They announced the location for WrestleMania 29. That's right. They're already looking a year ahead, a year plus ahead. Sunday, April 7th, 2013, MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. That'll be the site, the location for WrestleMania 29. This is the building, of course, where the NFL's New York Giants, the defending Super Bowl champion New York Giants, and the New York Jets play. I don't know. As far as I'm concerned, high risk, high reward, an outdoor stadium. I mean, it's always that case, but they seem to be doing more of that. But you also have to realize it's in New Jersey, and it's in early April. So you have weather always a concern for an outdoor event, but in this case, I mean, not only do you have the rain, but the cold. And actually, John Cena in an interview talked about that and said he wouldn't mind wrestling in snow, as if, the possibility of a dusting from early April, that part of North Jersey. It would certainly be an interesting visual and one that you hadn't seen before and probably likely wouldn't see again. The possibility of snow falling and the matches going on. That's I don't know. We'll see if it necessarily gets to that point, but that is that's one of the other big announcements. And couple of thoughts on it. Ryan chiming in. I think it's he follows pretty much in my footsteps. It's a risk reward. He believes it'll work if the weather does hold up. New York has great crowds to begin with, and with the biggest pay-per-view of the year coming to town, the possibilities are huge, as is the profit for the company. He says he can't wait and may even buy tickets himself. I have to admit, if as close as that is, as long as the price isn't too terrible, I'd at least think about it as well. And I don't know, maybe if I start sending feelers out now, I might be able to get a media credential. We'll see. And, John, I don't even... John from the Northeast, providing a quote from George Carlin, which, no, don't worry, Bill, you don't need to go to the dump button for this one. He just says, kiss her where it smells, take her to New Jersey. That was the George Carlin quote. So evidently not everybody necessarily approves of the North Jersey WrestleMania locale for next year, MetLife Stadium. Oh man, you never know where this show is going to go. That's for certain. And another story that I've got from the news and notes definitely proves it, and we can certainly get your takes on that. I'm sure it'll be ramping up the Facebook fan page. This story definitely proves it. Former WWE star and current Vivid Entertainment talent China has just wrapped her latest movie for the adult entertainment company. Yeah, according to TMZ, the film is inspired by the Royal Rumble. So I guess every few minutes another wrestler enters the fray. Only in this case, I think it's a whole different kind of wrestling. Yes, the film features China having relations. We'll go with that word. With actors portraying wrestlers such as Hulk Hogan, Triple H, and Ric Flair. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. Wow, China. I don't even know where to go with this. Probably, we'll take care of business in a little bit. Bob actually chimes in with an interesting question. I guess some newer folks to the fray probably haven't seen an Elimination Chamber. And Bob chiming in, how does the Elimination Chamber match work? I have no clue. Well, obviously there are 6 wrestlers involved. It's a cylindrical... Yeah, it's a cylindrical cage surrounding and encompassing the ring. Actually, here we go. Mike just put up a bit of an answer about it. I'll see if I can take his words, since he already hasn't typed there, and that makes it easier than me trying to go off the cuff with it. 6 men enter the ring, 4 are in chambers, and 2 men start the match. After every... Well, I'll correct you. It's usually every 3 to 5 minutes. It's kind of one of those deals like the Royal Rumble where they say every 2 minutes, but it ends up being every minute and a half. Well, depending on... I think in this case they may go the 5-minute route. So every 5 minutes, a randomly selected chamber is open and that man enters. Elimination is by pinfall or submission. The last man standing after all have been eliminated is the champion. And Mike chiming in, he was at the first ever chamber match, and it was awesome. Congrats to that, Mike. I have not yet seen an Elimination Chamber match in person. But yes, you'll see these 4 almost plexiglass-like panels that kind of separate off the wrestlers, and then I guess I'm trying to remember if they went to the point of electronically opening them, or if they just had a referee who undid a padlock to allow the wrestler to open the door and enter the fray. So each of these Elimination Chamber matches, are going to go for at least 20 minutes, probably at least a half hour, I would imagine, especially with the lack of matches advertised for the card. So, should definitely be interesting. And confirmed. Here we go. Wells, look at John chiming in, since I haven't had that must have just broken before I got on the air here, because I didn't see that not too long ago. Although then again, it's on Wikipedia, so I don't know how much you can necessarily trust that, despite my former co-host's claims that Wikipedia is definitely the truth. Something tells me our truth would argue against that. So we'll look that up as we go to the break, and then we'll also get to the phones, get back to some more Facebook feedback, some more news and notes. We've also got Today in Wrestling History coming up. Some interesting notes, including something from, 27 years ago, bringing rock and roll and wrestling into the fray. So this should definitely be interesting. So we'll get to all that and more. Plus, I still want to know some of your overhyped, underwhelming second and third generation wrestlers in honor of Garrett Bischoff. Randy Orton was mentioned earlier. There was also a mention on the Facebook fan page of, there was a mention of the phones last week. That's what it was, of Scott Putski, kind of jumping the gun on it. Of course, son of the Polish Hammer, Ivan Putski. And Denny's already left. I'm sure there'd be a joke to follow with that, but I'm going to leave that alone. I've got a few more here on the list, and we'll get to those on the other side as well. 215-949-3232. We're toll-free at 888-922-2149. Those are the ways to get to us. We've also got, we'll get to Sean on the other side as well. And more of your Facebook feedback, courtesy of the Facebook page, WBCB Pro Wrestling Weekly. This is Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com.